What I'm about to prove to you today is that Lionel Messi is the greatest player of all time. Hello, welcome back to Footy Unplugged. It's always a pleasure talking to all, 10 of you. The viewership stays consistent, and consistency is key. As the title and the introduction suggests, today we are talking about Lionel Messi. Now, I've got to admit before we start, I've always been a bit of a Messi hater. Not because I don't acknowledge him, or didn't acknowledge him, as the greatest player of all time. I always knew that. But I hated on Messi because I'm a hater. And that's what haters do. You hate on obviously good players because it's fun to see them fail. But what he's done over the past 6 months, winning the World Cup, and the focus of this video, his time in Inter Miami, has made it impossible to ignore him anymore. I've just had his most recent goal come on my timeline. The one when he plays it with the outside of his boot. Seems like an impossible pass, but only Messi can do that. And his time in Inter Miami has been, from what I thought would just be a bit of a nothing affair, has become so exciting. Even before that, a week ago, last minute assist to keep his team alive in the cup. First game, free kick last minute of the game to win the game from 35 yards out. He is an unbelievable player. And what he's doing at the moment in the MLS, it feels unprecedented. So I did a bit of digging into the stats to see if conclusively, is it unprecedented? Now the first thing I want to talk about is Messi's performance levels. His stats so far in the league are unbelievable. In his first 9 games, he has registered 11 goals and 3 assists. That comes out to a goal involvement of 1.55 per game. But I know what the Ronaldo fans are screaming. It's a farmers league. The defenders are So I wanted to find a bit of context for those numbers and compare them against some other great players who've gone to the MLS. Ibrahimovic, for example, this time spent in the MLS, played in 58 games, getting 53 goals and 14 assists, which comes out to 1.16 goals and assists per game. Again, incredible numbers, but that is nothing compared to Messi's 1.55. And for even further context, I want to talk a bit about Carlos Vela. In recent years, Carlos Vela has been the face of the MLS. His performance levels have always been excellent, but even he, on his best season, only managed to register 1.42 goals and assists. And that's his best season, that's not his whole career. What this is all pointing to is that what we are seeing from Messi right now, we have never seen from a player in this division. To counteract my own point though, Messi only has a sample size of 9 games. But what this video is about his initial time in Inter Miami, okay? Maybe we can revisit this, once the season's over, and maybe it's not impressive. But at the moment, it's very, very impressive. What's that? I hear the Ronaldo fans screaming again. What about Ronaldo? At the date of recording, Ronaldo has a 0.96 goals and assists per game rate playing for Al Nassr. Again, great numbers for his age, but nothing compared to Messi's 1.55. And to be honest, nobody should be shocked that Messi is playing at his level. People talked about his season at PSG as being a down year. It was a down year, but that's only by his own standards he set. If you have a look at his FB rep, all of his creative statistics from last season are still in the top 99th percentile. That is unbelievable. And of course he's come off the back of winning a World Cup. Of course he is tearing MLS apart. But I don't just want to talk about his performance levels that are obviously amazing. I want to talk about impact. Messi's debut garnered 1.75 million views. For comparison, David Beckham's debut, one of the most famous people in the world, only garnered 1.5 million, and the previously mentioned Zlatan Ibrahimovic only 550,000. In fact, the only debut in the MLS that had higher viewership was Freddie Adu's. And if you know anything about Freddie Adu, that is completely understandable. Everyone in the US and the rest of the world thought that Freddie Adu was going to go on and become the greatest player of all time. It just never happened for him. But he was a 16-year-old prodigy. But what about the money? Because at the end of the day, viewership is nice, but what about the revenue? Well, the average ticket price for an MLS game last season was $152. The average ticket price for a Messi game is $329. And every one of those tickets has sold out. It shows you how much of a pull Lionel Messi has. He's playing in a country which doesn't even care about football, but he's still selling out tickets, getting celebrities coming to the game, even the Kardashians have turned up. They probably don't even know what's going on. The MLS Pass as well has got 300,000 more subscribers. The MLS Pass is a package deal in America which allows you access to every MLS game. And now since Messi has joined Inter Miami, it has garnered over 1 million subscribers. That's like a 30% increase from Messi joining the league. As previously mentioned, the obvious counterpoint would be the Saudi Pro League. Very similar circumstances. Big star going to the league, other stars following suit, viewership going up. I would like to be able to quote some exact figures from the Saudi Pro League since Ronaldo has joined, but for some reason I can't find any reliable source of them anywhere. The only one I've got is that viewership has increased by 8 times since he's joined, which is very impressive, but I have no idea what the original number was. So it could be, like 8 times could be 8,000 up from 1,000, or it could be 10 million up to 80 million. I have no idea. Sorry. But some exact figures we have is the unveiling videos. Ronaldo's unveiling for Al Nassr impressively got 3 billion views across all platforms. Those are unbelievable numbers. But you know what's more unbelievable? Messi's numbers. He garnered over 3.5 billion views, taking the record away from Ronaldo. However, it's not all bad news for Ronaldo fans, because Al Nassr actually had a higher increase in followers than Inter Miami did. So there's a win. Sorry Ronaldo fans, I don't mean to keep your boy. But those are all the initial figures. But what does this mean moving forward? Is Messi's impact going to lead to this long-term growth in the MLS, like over the rest of the season and even after he retires? What about the Saudi Pro League? Is that just going to keep growing and surpass the MLS? Well, I actually think what the MLS are doing with Messi is smarter than what Saudi Arabia are doing with their bucket loads of star players. Because MLS has been signing stars to the league for decades. Even their predecessor, the NASL, got Pele. You know, the face of football, Pele. Pele actually brought a lot of revenue and viewership to the NASL. But long term, the league folded. That happened because all the other clubs had to spend exorbitant amounts of money getting in star players to compete with the team which had Pele. And that led to bad contracts, bad investments, and there just wasn't enough money in the league to keep it going. That's why when the MLS was founded, the whole principle behind it was about equality in the league. The first ever signing for the MLS, the team didn't even sign the player. The league signed him and then assigned him to a team. In recent years though, the league has taken a bit of a step back and letting the investors of each club, they don't have owners, they have investors, make their own signings. But the equality in the league is still at the forefront of the league's plans. That's why they still have the draft, you know, a system which wouldn't work in the European League with promotion and relegation, because it just wouldn't make any sense. But in this franchise model that the MLS has, it does give the league balance. But that's all similar to what the Saudi Pro League is doing, right? The league has full control because it's owned by the state. And because the state has full control over all the clubs, they will make sure that all the star players that come into the league are equally balanced, maybe given 1 or 2 super teams, but making sure the rest of the league quality is okay. That's why when Benzema was offered his contract, it was reported that he was allowed to choose any club he wanted. Because when you join the Saudi Pro League, you're not joining a club, you're joining the league. But where I think the MLS have Saudi Arabia beat is their youth development. USA more and more each year are having more breakout stars come through. I feel like it all started with Christian Pulisic, and after that we had Reina, we have Sergio Dest, we had Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams. All of these players are coming from America. Now obviously the best ones go over to Europe. Well, what about the others? They play in the MLS. And the quality of the league is naturally progressing each year, not just from spending massive money to get stars in the league, but from homegrown talent. And I feel like Messi being there is now just going to encourage even more investment into the youth academies. Well, they haven't got academies, do they? They have the American college system. But maybe they'll start getting academies now. Maybe the country is going to fall in love with football and their own players will develop. In Saudi Arabia, however, I just can't see this happening because the model doesn't allow young players to get game time. Because the whole model's built around letting 35-year-olds play out their last remaining years of their career. Like, where's the game time going to come from? Like, it just feels more of a house of cards situation to me. I think it'll be very successful over the next 10 years, but the money can't last forever. It's going to have to start generating profit at some point. But who knows, maybe Cristiano Ronaldo's venture into the Saudi Pro League is going to surpass Messi's venture into the MLS. I don't think so though, because when you look at all the stats I've presented today, I feel like what Messi is doing in the MLS is unprecedented. Thank you for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, remember to please give it a like and subscribe, and check out the other videos on my channel. That would be greatly appreciated. I would love to get the average viewers up to about 30. Yeah, 30 sounds good. Maybe we can even get like 5 likes on the video. That would be amazing. Shoot for the stars. Anyway, till next time, I'll see you later.